In this video, I'm going to cover 3 key questions that you need to consider when getting into or back to exercise, running or sport. Question number 1 is, why do you want to exercise, run or play sport in the first place? Question number 2 is, what is regular and challenging exercise, running or sport? And number 3 is, how do you know if you've got the balance right? Hi, Carl Green, Fitness for Life Physio here, and I've been empowering people to overcome pain and achieve their health and fitness goals since 2002. Please share this post with others if you think it would be useful, and have a look around my website to learn more about me and my services, and please subscribe to my health and fitness blog so you don't miss any future posts. Now, we all know that being more active is generally a great thing to aspire to and something that's really important and we should prioritise for our health and our fitness. One of the reasons I set up Fitness for Life Physio was because I come across loads and loads of people that try really hard, but they're just not managing to achieve their health and fitness goals, or they're in pain, or they're having problems along the way. And it's usually because the goals that they've set, or the plans and the training and things that they're following just isn't specific and tailored enough for their needs and their goals. And I don't want this to happen to you because it can put you off carrying on, which is obviously not what we want. So hopefully this post you'll find really useful. Almost all the people I come across have great intentions to get fit and healthy. Some are going it alone and are self-taught. Others are already receiving health and fitness services elsewhere, so from personal trainers, exercise instructors, various coaches, other therapists, and even doctors and consultants sometimes, but still having problems or not quite achieving their goals. So whether you're a first timer to exercise and fitness, you're wanting to lose weight or improve your general health, whether you're a recreational athlete that wants to get the most out of their training and their sport, has to juggle that around work and life and family duties and things as well, or if you're someone that's looking to get back into fitness, exercise, sport or running after a break or an injury or an operation or other health condition, then please stay tuned because we're about to cover 3 key questions that you need to consider before you make that comeback. Okay, so question number 1, why do you want to exercise, run or play sport in the first place? This may seem like a really simple question, but when I've spoken to lots of people and they've told me what they are thinking about doing or the goals that they may have, and we've talked about those in more detail, sometimes it's led to some quite big modifications in what we're expecting and what we're planning to do. Other times we've completely changed the plan and we're focused on something completely different that's actually more relevant to the real reasons, motivations and needs that they have in order to improve their health and fitness. One thing I would recommend, which you can try and do yourself, although it is difficult sometimes on your own mind and trying to question yourself, but keep asking why. So if you've picked something to do, why do you want to do it? And then what are you hoping to get from it? Yeah? And if you keep doing that, you then should get closer and closer to the real reason. Sometimes though it's very difficult to do for ourselves because we think the way we do, because of the influences we have and everything else, and we sometimes might not have the knowledge to be able to pick things apart in order to think of the best ways to achieve what we really want, or we might have been misled with lots of information out there as well. So if you do want help with that, please do get in touch. You can book in via the website. I'm more than happy to spend even one session with you or something just to talk through things and just try and clarify it, because it's really important to start on the right foot. Okay, question number 2. What is regular and challenging exercise, running and sport? Ongoing progress in health and fitness often relies on regular physical activity at the right level of difficulty for your needs and goals. So let me explain what I mean by regular and challenging. So, how do you know if you're training or playing sport regularly? Have you been participating in the same type of sport, running or exercise, either through training or competition, at least 2 times a week and for at least the last 2 months? So if the answer is no, then for most goals and most people's exercise needs and sporting needs, this probably isn't regular enough to really build the tolerances and the capabilities to be able to perform at that activity. Also doesn't give you enough of a training stimulus to start adapting the body as well and becoming better at doing those things. Now it is possible to also train too regularly, so we can do too much or we can do too little, and this depends on you as an individual and your history and your background and everything, but also the activities that you're involved in. Generally speaking, the lighter an activity and the easier it feels to do repetitively, the less recovery time we need. The things that we need more recovery time for are the powerful, fast things like sprinting, jumping, that sort of stuff, but also heavier weightlifting and things as well. We want to train those quite so regularly. Now, how can you tell if your chosen activity is challenging enough? Do you feel tired or fatigued during or after running, exercise or sports sessions? If so, they're likely to be challenging, but different goals and needs require different levels of intensity, and it's also really important in terms of recovery as well. Now, some of you may be aware, if you've had a look at my About Me page, that I also have a background in sports and exercise science as well. And when I studied those things and worked in those areas, there's lots of ways that I used to test people's level of intensity in the way that they were working when they were doing exercise and sport. Some of those were in a lab, some of them are field tests and outside and things and different bits of equipment. What I would say though is it doesn't often have to be that complicated and that high tech really. So there's some few key simple measures that we can all do that I'm going to talk through and just introduce to you now. Now, heart rate monitors are really popular and they are a good way to gauge general intensity, probably the most convenient and most appropriate for cardiovascular activities like running, cycling, that sort of thing. Less relevant perhaps for strength training and also for certain types of sports as well. Now, with all this technology, we should not forget the most simple, timeless classic of a good rating scale of 0 to 10. Okay, so we can call that the rate of perceived exertion, 0 to 10. How tired do you feel in that scale? 0 doing nothing, 10 couldn't work any harder. Nice and simple measure, probably the most applicable to everything that we do. We can use that for everything. How difficult does the activity feel? There's also an alternative for the younger, fitter, healthier people that like to match up their levels with heart rates, and maybe they use heart rates for other things and they want to have something to kind of keep it fairly consistent in terms of how they're measuring things. And that could be the Borg Scale, which looks at a scale between 6 and 20. You stick a 0 on the end and that should roughly relate to heart rates. Now, a few other options for strength training could be using the repetitions in reserve method, so basically giving a rating of how many more reps do you think are left in the tank at the end of your set. Another method that you might want to use is doing speed tests like time distance tests. You might also want to look at jump heights or jump distances as well to see signs of fatigue, because you won't be able to go as quickly or be able to move quite so far once that sort of sets in. Okay, so that's talking about how regular exercise could and should be, and also some ideas around gauging how challenging it is as well. If you need help with any of that, please do get in touch or book in for a few sessions with me and we can try and organise all of that. It is really difficult to do on your own, and having someone outside of your situation can really help. And also I'm able as a physio and also strength conditioning and sports and exercise graduate, I can look at all of those things, put it all together so it fits you, your lifestyle, your previous injuries, your medical history, all of those things. So do get in touch if I can help. So question number 3, how do you know if you've got the balance right? Now, getting this right is really important, because if we don't, you could end up overtraining or undertraining. So I'm going to explain what those two things mean and some of the things to watch out for as well, and also how you know when you have got everything right. So overtraining is where you give your body too much stimulus or stress that it just can't cope with effectively. Undertraining is where we don't give it enough in order to maintain or improve further in terms of our capabilities. So signs of overtraining and undertraining are very similar. So you can have changes to sleep, you can have reductions in your performance for the activities that you're looking for. You can also have unwanted changes to your body in terms of body fat, muscle or weight in general. In addition to that, regarding overtraining, it's also very common to get aches, pains and niggles, and sometimes that can lead to actually more serious problems and injuries and things as well. And you might also notice that recovery time is much longer. You're not feeling recovered by your next session like you used to anymore. So well-balanced training should mean you're not having the problems that we've just discussed, and you're starting to make progress towards your goals and your overall aims. Now this is dependent on whether your training is matched well to your goals and your needs, and that comes back to what we talked about earlier in the video about getting that right. And again, I would very much recommend a couple of sessions before you set out, just to confirm your ideas and things, because what you don't want to do is put in loads and loads of effort, time and money a lot of the time with asking other people for some help, and it not actually get what you want from it at the end. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the video. I got carried away as usual, so it's another long one. I think that's probably going to be the trend for all of my videos really, but hopefully you gained something from it and you found it useful. I do spend a lot of time putting these together to give some free information out there to people, so do please share with other people on social media or email links to people and things. Be great if more people could see this and benefit from it. I'd really appreciate that, and hopefully they would too. Have a look on my website for more information. If you would like my help, please do get in touch or book in. More than happy to help you with lots of different things really. And then also have a look at my health and fitness blog page so you get notifications whenever I post something new. All the best guys, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully see you again soon.